Hello, everyone, guys. We got a packed show. We got talk a little bit about Ren Baker. It just hit. We're gonna talk Sir Paul Cheeks and Big 12 rankings and how, man, it's just a hot mess. And we're gonna chat about that and a lot more. So stick around because it's gonna be a fun show. It's gonna be great.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative, I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase the bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. No way now, I'll give up everything. Sick of the venom in my brain, running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this, I just wanna break these chains. Always destined for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once that I so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started the outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted, created a legacy off of me just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail. I'll give up everything, daunting, if I can see my dream. Things right, 'cause I'll do anything. Want a reality.
Hey guys, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a fun show tonight. So, it's we're in the home stretch. Literally, it's about a month away, and West Virginia's going to roll its sleeves up. Going to be patting some coal. We're going to be eating some pepperoni rolls, and we're going to be bringing out the Mountaineers. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about Ren Baker. Athletic directors are kind of like a first aid kit, right? Sometimes you might have it for a while and never use it, right? Ren Baker is a first aid kit that we've opened up and used. I mean, we've had multiple coaches hired, and he's been very, very, very valuable for the Mountaineer program. My goodness, and he's hit him out of the park. We'll have to see how old Coach Hodge does, Ross Hodge, but man, got Rich Rod. Baker has really just got after it, and to his credit, he hit the ground running. And first of all, handling the situation with Bob Huggins, that have been difficult for any seasoned athletic director. But what's happening in the Big 12 is ESPN's Pete Thamel broke the news that Oklahoma is preparing to search for a new athletic director. And this guy has been at Oklahoma. Joe Castiglione has been there since 1988, and he's going to retire. And so coming up in the 25-26 year. So is Ren Baker a possible candidate? Is he? I don't know. I hear that he is. And I hear other rumors that he isn't. I hear that Mississippi's Zach Selman is first in line, but you have to. You never know. The fact that Ren Baker's been so successful, they've asked Ren Baker. He says, "I'm happy where I'm at. My girls are happy where they're at." Everybody's happy where they're at until you show them the cash. I don't know. I'm hoping he stays. I'm thinking he will. I'm not going to make a big deal about it until it's a big deal. But I thought I would bring it up. It hit the news feed about an hour ago. I thought, shoot, I can't go through this live show without bringing it up to you guys. But let's go to the chat, see if you guys have anything before we get popping. Let's see who's all in here. We got Bubba Brewer and Eric Saab. So Eric is getting ready for a class reunion. I think Morgantown High. Maybe Rhonda will be there, Eric. Haha, right? That was a great story he told me one time. But in related news, you know what? I'm going to touch on this. We keep talking about building culture, and the Three Guys podcast had the young man, Eddie, from Finland. Last name starts with the Verstant. Man, he's a good kid. I think he's in his 5th year of eligibility, and we're blessed to keep him. He's a defensive lineman, and 6'4", 236, just a specimen. Charming on the show. If you haven't watched it on Three Guys, he plays the alto sax for the crew, and really, what I keyed on is they ask him about the culture, and we hear Rich Rod say, need the intensity. We need to have that intensity. We need the intensity over and over. But when they asked that young man what that meant, he said he sees it in practice. He didn't know they could practice with that intensity. Oh, St. Francis Trojans. Okay. He said let me put it up here. Thanks, Eric. Never been so proud of Trojans. But Eddie said he didn't know what it was like to practice with such intensity. And for a young man to pick up on that, and for them to be practicing, the season hasn't even started yet, and they're practicing like that. So I'm really optimistic that this team's going to have a little bit of dog in them, as Pat McAfee would say. And they're going to need it, because we're going to talk about later that the Big 12 is a hot mess. And we're going to talk about how there's parity last year, and there still is a lot of parity. But before we go talk about that, there's some recruiting news. West Virginia landed a stud, a running back that, Skylar Callahan a day ago said that this cat, it reminds him of Noel Devine. Said he had Noel Devine-like speed and burst and big play potential. And that's not what I see when I saw the video. I saw more of Tavon Austin. More of, plays after the catch. Explosiveness, shifty. Noel Devine was shifty, but I saw more Tavon Austin when I saw this cat. He was recruited by Appalachian State, Ball State, Coastal Carolina, East Carolina, Kentucky, Liberty, Minnesota, Old Dominion, Pitt, Temple, UConn, USF, and a few others, Buffalo. But heck, if you pick up a kid that Pitt wants and you get him over Pitt, that's a win for me. But so as a junior, this young man rushed for 591 yards, 10 touchdowns on 51 carries. So that's 11 yards, 10.9 yards a carry. So that's really that's a hell of a season, right? And he's one of the most efficient in running back out there. But let's talk about what the recruiters say. Let's not just that's high praise. Noel Devine and Tavon Austin, and when you talk about those cats, and I don't think they're when you say those words and say that number 7 and number 1, you might have splashes of similar running style and you see speed, but it's just it just gives you that hope that you're going to be able to see a cat that gets first downs, and when he touches the ball, he's getting first downs, he's getting touchdowns, that when he gets that speed burst, that he's breaking through and making those plays, as Mike Tomlin calls it for the Steelers, those splash plays. But those terrific hands, definitely, and shifty speed, it makes me think of old number 1, Tavon Austin. So that I have to touch on. I wanted to bring it up. Guys, very, very, very excited about that young man. And I'm hoping West Virginia can keep him signed. I mean, we're July 17th, and it's a long time, until he sets foot on campus next year. Hoping he comes on campus for, spring ball, coming in January. But what do we have on the call sheet here? So Big 12. Moving on to the Big 12. So what do you think last year? Last year, we'll talk about last year, Joey and I did a show, and we did this Magic 8 Ball bit where I do this digital Magic 8 Ball and we shake it up and do all the, what each team's going to do. Are they going to win? Arizona State came up with they're going to have the best season. And we're like, oh, that's kooky. And you know what? Arizona State did. I'm going to share my screen here. So bear with me. Bear with me while I share my screen. And I want to show you, I actually did a little document here to show. I'm not big into the whiz bang stuff, but I thought I would show you guys this so you could see something. So what this represents, and I'll make it a little bigger. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So what it is, kids, is basically, it's kind of tiny, but I'll read it to you. 2024's preseason versus 2025's preseason. So last year, the preseason had Arizona State finishing dead last. Well, if you look over in the yellow column, they finished first. Well, actually, they were tied with a couple other, they were tied first with Iowa State, but they won the head-to-head. So, they had the same record. And then, second place, there was a tie. A lot of teams had similar records. But what this shows is the parity. It shows that these pollsters and the prognosticators and the people that sit here and shoot sunshine up your dupa like I do, don't know, couldn't pick flowers rather than pick the schedule. So I wanted to show you this. Okay. Now, you look at this. They had Utah finishing they picked to finish number 1. Now, you look over there in yellow, they finished actually number 13. They had Kansas picked to finish number 2. They finished number 8. Oklahoma State, well, they finished 3-9. 3-9 and finished 16th. Mike Gundy took a big old poop. Kansas was picked to finish number 4 under Lance Leipold and was 10th. Now, if you look to the left of that, what it was is what the difference was. Utah was picked to finish first, and they finished 13th. There was a deviation of what they picked of average of 6.87, but 7. They were off by 7. So that's really terrible. Houston was kind of close. Cincinnati was kind of close. But you go down through that, Iowa State had a hell of a good season. You know, they were picked to finish sixth and they were second, but they are actually as good as Arizona State, I thought. UCF was 15th. They're picked to finish eighth. You know, and so on and so on. Colorado was picked towards the bottom of the conference, and they were actually in the running to be a conference champion up until the last week of the season, guys. Dion had them playing some ball. So don't sleep on them this year. So let's think about that. Think about 2024 and how far off the mark they were for that season. And think about this season. So when I was reading through the Big 12 preseason poll, and and they don't do, the Big 12 doesn't do a preseason poll. This year it's Phil Steele. Last year was the last year that the Big 12 does a preseason poll. So I wanted to kind of clarify that. So it's apples to oranges. But still. So we have Arizona State number 1 based off of last year's success, okay? Kansas State, Baylor, BYU, Texas Tech, TCU, Iowa State, Utah, Kansas, Colorado, Houston, Cincinnati, West Virginia at unlucky 13, UCF, Arizona, Oklahoma State. You have a lot of teams down on the bottom there that were up towards the top end last year on the preseason poll. There's no consistency. It's anybody's. It's anybody's conference. Okay, you could look at any team here and make a valid argument that West Virginia could finish in the top 3. West Virginia could finish in the top 6. There's no way in hell West Virginia is going to be in the bottom 3. I'm just saying that. I'm gonna choke. I gotta drink some coffee. I just can't get over it. So I want to show you one more thing so we can so this can sink in. West Virginia is another selection that they had was they wanted to tier like who has the best running back, and West Virginia has the second best running back. The best running backs in the Big 12, and they also have the second best offensive line in the Big 12. But their quarterbacks aren't on the top 4. But if you have really good running backs and really good offensive line, that's a recipe for success, isn't it? Wouldn't you think? I don't know, guys. So let me pull this up. We're going to close this, put something else up here for you. You got to stare at my big head for a minute. So what this is the actual big, oops, let's see if I can make it. Just trying to work here, guys. Nothing to see here. Just someone struggling, just getting hit by the struggle bus. I think I could figure out how to do this. I've only been doing it a minute, right? Okay. Still not working. Last try. So I'm going to go over the last time. Let's see here. So guys, what we got here is, okay. I want to go over the results from last year. Okay. Literally, Arizona State, Iowa State, BYU, and Colorado all finished Big 12 record of 7-2. Baylor, TCU, Texas Tech, all were 6-3. Kansas State, West Virginia were 5-4. Okay. Let that sink in. I'm going to say it again. You had, you had 4 teams in the top of the conference: Arizona State, Iowa State, BYU, and Colorado. All finished in the top of the conference. And at the end of the season, they were all neck and neck. Baylor, TCU, Texas Tech were all 6-3. Kansas State and West Virginia were 5-4. Up until the end of the season, all those teams had a chance to play for a conference championship. So for West Virginia to be number 13 with a seasoned ball coach that has two quarterbacks that have played power, played conference, one conference, power 4 conference football games, one with the SEC at Texas A&M. There it is. It's freaking, how the hell did that happen? I didn't touch a thing. You guys saw me. My hands were here. It just decided to appear. It's freaking magic, kids. The gremlins are out. You guys saw it. I got to drink coffee. Man, that just creeps me out. All right, so here we have it. Look at this, guys. Iowa State was rolling. They came out of nowhere. So BYU the year before was a hot mess. BYU, Jake Roslaff is not going to be there anymore. They don't have a quarterback coming back. Colorado doesn't know who their quarterback's going to be. I mean, it's anybody's conference. The only teams down here, and Houston won on a miracle against West Virginia. They would have been 2-7. They should have been 2-7. So right there, guys, Oklahoma State and Mike Gundy lost every game. I would be concerned for Oklahoma State. There's no way in hell they're losing all 9 games this year. They're going to steal a few. So right there, Oklahoma State's going to pee on somebody's, pee on somebody's cupcake, take some of their sprinkles, just make their birthday a bad day, just going to make a mess of it. They're going to steal a couple. UCF, I don't care what you say. You play in the bounce house. It's not an easy task. Arizona, there's a thing called the Desert Curse. They only won 2 games. It was first year in that in the new Big 12 conference for them. Utah, we thought was going to hit the ground running. They did not. Cincinnati is picked to finish ahead of the Mountaineers. I don't know. Do they do random drug tests for these pollsters, these people that do this? So I'm going to go into another thing. Locked On Big 12. We all know that show. They're talking today about how, and I don't want to get into the dirty details, but I kind of had this feeling, and it's happened in the past, when a young man gets selected and goes to a conference that's not desirable, not the Big 10 or SEC. For some reason, Rivals decides to kind of, let's drop their star rating from a 5 or a 4 to a 3. 4 to a 3. When for the longest period of time, this happened with a BYU quarterback that instead of going to Oregon, he went to BYU and he lost a star. So the kid that was, well, we'll take you instead of the kid we were going to take that went to BYU. Welcome to Oregon. Oh, by the way, you're going to get your star bumped up, because that causes ratings to go up. The ratings for that conference get beefed up. The preseason ratings get beefed up. The ratings for the EA Sports get beefed up. I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's all about money. On3, Rivals, all these guys, they're all connected. It's incestuous. So the fact that the Big 12, there's parity. There was an article today that, you know, the SEC is scared. The Big 12 is a sleeping giant. And if the last season doesn't tell you that, any of these teams can have a breakout year. Colorado was close to it, and we like to crap on Deion Sanders. What happens if Rich Rod ties a few wins together? Everybody likes a good story, and that would gather some steam because of the way he left, the way he came back. You know, Jalen Henderson has a name to him. Nico Markiel has a name. They're good guys. People want a good story, and West Virginia can be that good story, that feel-good story. People are sick of the Blue Bloods. Think back to 2007, how Boise State took college football by storm. No one knew about them. Now they're a household name. West Virginia is a household name. They're not a cellar dweller. But let's bring it back. Guys, I'll tell you, it's been fun. Let's go to the chat here. What's Eric say? Representing the blue and gold, looking great tonight. Thanks, Shane. Yeah, guys, I'm rocking. I don't usually have the hat and the top that match, you know, but I thought I would do that today. But so here's the plan for next week. Next week, I will do a Monday show. Probably won't do a Thursday show. I will do a Monday show the following week. Probably won't do a Thursday show. But then following week, we'll be back to 2 shows a week. And then, guys, it's going to get hot and heavy, maybe 3 shows a week starting the second week of August. High school football is going to be starting here in Western Pennsylvania, in West Virginia, Ohio. It's going to start nationwide, but I mean, you guys know what it's like Friday nights in the United States. It's a big deal. It's really easy to get excited. A lot of these kids are starting their social media right now to get looks from college coaches. It's different. It's a different animal than what it was just 3-4 years ago. Look at Preston Fox. He's in his 6th year. When he started in 2019, it's so different than what it is right now. Right? It's crazy. So, you know, let's think about that. And, you know, I can't wait to see where college football is going. I have my season tickets for this year. If you guys have any suggestions on some future shows, hit me up in the comments section. And I appreciate you being here. And we will see you next time, next Monday at 9 o'clock. And if you guys like Steelers football, I have a little show called the Steelers Dynasty Podcast where we talk about, not pepperoni rolls, we talk about Steelers football and maybe cookie tables at weddings. Sometimes we talk about that. But thanks, everybody. Have a great Mountaineer day, and God bless you.